this morning, I've got exciting stuff to go and collect. So we've acquired something through a subscriber. Might be obviously vehicle related. So we're going to go and collect that. But obviously, Saturday morning rituals. We've got to go and have some breakfast first. Warm the truck up, have breakfast. I've got to go and load a Peugeot, one of them Peugeot Talbot campers that we've had kicking around the yard for ages because I'm having a clear out that we've sold. So I'm going to throw that out on the way through, and then go and get the exciting new thing I bought off a subscriber. Sounds like a plan. Right, so aging Peugeot camper vanny thing loaded. Too bad. So what we're going to do now, charge into Salisbury, get some new t-shirts because this one's far too hot for this type of thing, and then deliver this, go and get the next exciting thing. Right, now 60 diesels. As you'll see, we're loaded, and big thanks to this man here, Mr. Marlon, who found us this top quality, one owner 305 XR that we're going to go back and survey. One, see if we can get it going, and two, see if we're crazy enough to save it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to have to see what's left of it. It's to say, it's a shame it wasn't inside, but what a thing. One owner from new, and
off the road for 30
years sat in the corner of a yard in a bush. Well, the question man might need to ask himself is, how bad can your newly acquired Peugeot be after some nice fella you've just bought it off of left it parked in the corner of a yard since July 1991? One owner, they bought it new. It was, what did he say it was? I think it was like £4,000, brand spankers. And then they bought a 205 GTI to replace it, parked it up, there it stayed. We'll talk about the GTI in another episode. So I reckon if I howmanyleft.com this is probably going to be almost the last 305 SR with all these options on it left, or a bit of it left, because it's a bit rusty. It's probably not killer rusty. I mean, the floors actually are better than the van. I mean, we have front floors. It's actually quite good. Now, sadly, the back flitches, they're not quite as good, but that's quite simply cured. We have some wheels that might move if one hit them with a hammer. We do have a set of Michelin X radials, 155 R14s, but I think, let's be honest, they've probably seen better days, because I can put my fingers through the side of this one. Yeah, definitely. It's got a tube in it too. The battery box, well, she's a bit crispy, but a man could make that. I think there's a possibility that if you were completely crazy like I am, that's fixable. Would seem a bit of a shame to, I mean, that bit's good. That bit there's not quite as good. I mean, we've got some top quality strange Peugeot ingenuity, so we have obviously, this is the front diff, that's the gearbox, which is a bit like a Mini, it's in the sump. So I suppose what a fella really ought to do is lower this thing down, give you a tour. We'll have a quick tour of the under, well, it's not very exciting under there. Well, we won't tour the underside because it's just rusty. I've got the other headlamp lens. I've got rid of all the brambles. We'll have a look inside because she hasn't done a lot of miles and she's got a posh one. It's got central locking. Old X, now that was flash. And it's got some other flash options on it too. Right, here goes. Right, so we've lowered it down. Now, as you will be able to see, we've got a bit of stuff under the bonnet, including some obviously light surface rust. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that slightly lightened bit there. That's lightweight Peugeot racing tin work there. Now, you'll notice that the strut mount and the original jack kit are still in it. This bit, well, we don't think, I mean, I'm not touching that because I don't know what that is. That's definitely a bird's nest from quite a few years ago, so we'll just scrape that down there. That bit could have been a bit self-lightened. Headlight lenses fell off, but we've got it. Grill's hanging on, but she's all there. So wing-wise, that's there. I mean, it might not be there at the bottom, but that's not essential. So windscreen pillars, I think we are there, and I could definitely, I think this is a perfect candidate for some of that rat look stuff, or shat look. But I mean, look at the interior. I mean, we're going to ignore that big lump of spiderage there and the continuation of it here, but those are plush door cards. And you'll also notice there's no window winder. So this has electric windows. I mean, these seats are like brand new. I'm just going to quickly whip out here and grab my torch that I left over there. Get my torch and we'll go and have a look at the mileages. I mean, we've got vintage battery, and I think Man's going to have to try and charge on that just for a laugh. So, I mean, the door, she's not bad. Wing mirrors are intact. We have carpets. I'm not standing too hard on it because it may be a bit crispy. Sadly, it has done what all Peugeots do, and the gear knob has disappeared. But we've got gear selectors. Now, look at that for some top quality Tommy 2 knobbage. I mean, that is pre-tape deck, and it's not even FM. That is the original Pi stereo, and she is long wave and medium wave. And we have covered the heady height of 85,000 miles. It's even got, look, it's got a rev counter. That's proper posh. I mean, the glove box might be, something's sort of fell off. It's got some wood adaptions there, but that's fine. I don't quite know how that works. Yeah, we'll leave that in. Rear view mirror, got the posh sun visors. Does it have a, oh, it's got a mirror for the ladies on the passenger side. And not that you get my wife in this, I don't think, even when I've cleaned it up. There's a bit more spiderage over there. We've even got a digital clock. And hang on. No, we've got to check it. Did they smoke? Well, I reckon she's been used a couple of times. Tray of arse. Ooh. Some vintage bubblegum papers. And some stuff. I'll just add that out a minute because I might want to empty that. That can go down there. But I mean, the seats is minty. That might be a fag burn down there, but look at the carpets. That's what that is. Better save on that a minute. that over there is bad up there, isn't it? Just gingerly clip that back on there so it doesn't get lost. That's why it doesn't, because it doesn't clip on there. Right, we'll put that back up there. I mean, via the spiderage in the back, let's go see if we can get a rear door open. Can we get a rear door open? No, don't think we can. Got any? No, that's definitely locked. What about the boot? Now the boot has suffered a wee bit. It's slightly falling apart just there. There's the original garage that supplied it. That's where they bought it from. And does the boot open? No, the boot doesn't open. Now we know this door end here is going to be an issue because we had to remove this bit to stop it falling off on the way home. So that's probably not going to work. But, and I put it in the wrong way round. She needs to live in there like that, and I'm assuming it no opening. No. But, I mean, it's bad, but I've seen worse. I mean, I don't think that's through. No, we could call that patina. Character. It's more British, isn't it? It's got character. There's a bit more character going on there. Definitely some more character up here. I mean, definite character on the outside of the bonnet. And something about do not remove, clean the windscreen at your rough, thoroughly remove. Yeah, well, they obviously didn't take any notice of that then, did they? I mean, we've got one windscreen wiper blade. She might have slightly, but it got radio arrow. That's more than we got on the van, because that was the bit that caused me floors to rot out. I mean, she's a bit free floating, but she's there. I think what we need to do is attack this general area with an airline. We know it's free. Well, I'm pretty sure it's free. And then we're going to put a booster pack on it. And then see what comes alive. I mean, man's got to try central locking and electric windows, isn't he? It's a very sensible place to start. Well, I might as well start in here. Where's that going to? Doesn't appear to be a. Where's the bottom hose? Down there. I need to add some coolant. Right, there's the dipstick. We've got oil. Smells like oil. Smells like old oil, but it's still oil. We do have the funkiest belt arrangement, like the fan belt was. The fan belt drives off the crank down there, goes around two pulleys sideways, and then drives a fan that's just down there, and it's still on there. Alternator belt looks alright. A bit more sort of juicy stuff around the back here. Oh yeah, that's not budget, is it? So, I'm gonna break that. That's a genuine original. Lube on that a bit. What's the brake fluid situation looking like? Well, we've got some. A bit vile looking. But we've definitely got some. Do we dare? I'm going to go and press on the brake pedal. We got any? No, the brake pedal is definitely seems solid. No move. Oh, it does now. I've probably buggered it completely, isn't it? Yeah. Throttle. Yeah, no, she don't move. Clutch. Oh, I've got a clutch. Right. I think what we do, we whip the air filter off, and this complicated arrangement of pipework that's sort of hanging off of there. Then we take that off, have a look at the throttle linkage, try and gingerly remove this oil cap. We could attempt possibly changing the oil, but it might be worth starting it then changing the oil because it does look like oil. We take this off. We can lube on the carb linkages. I don't think it's worth putting any brake fluid in it for a minute because I think that's dirty. But we lube things generally. Put a battery on it. See what comes alive dashboard wise, and see if she turns over. So we're sort of having some success. So the carburetor, she was seized solid, so we've managed to bring the accelerator pump back around. Bit of a quick carb strip there. We've actually managed to bring the main butterfly was absolutely seized solid. So I'll give the carb a quick blowout, and there was no congealed fuel and nastiness in there, and it doesn't sound like there's any fuel in the tank. We've managed to get the oil cap off without breaking it, and all of this off without ruining it. The bit of pipe was a bit dead anyway. We've de-seized the throttle inside the car, head busted the torch, doing well there, and unbelievably, we've got brakes. I can't quite believe it either. We actually have pedal pressure, so we might just chuck some brake fluid in there in a minute. So what we're going to try and attend to now, we'll go back on a bit of time-lapsing, is to get the plugs out, put a bit of sort of transmission oil or something down in the cylinders, wang her over a bit, lube her up a bit. Spark plugs are out, nothing looks too horrendous. We've pulled some power steering fluid, a bit of diesel mixed in it, down into the cylinders. What we're going to do now is we're going to attempt to find a battery that works, which is getting very difficult around here. There's a nice man by a camper van project office this morning, and he was such a nice fella. The camper van obviously came without a battery because it had been taken ground, so I gave him my last good battery so that it ran when he had got when we unloaded it at his house. Which, seeing as it was the last good small-sized battery, we've got some lorry batteries, but they might not be a lot of use. Actually, might put it in there. I'll go and see what I can find. I'm going to get a battery and a jump start pack. We know it turns over because I have attempted with this fan mechanism, I can turn the thing. So we know she goes round and round. And what we need to do is get it doing the worry bit and see what lights up on the dashboard. I'm going to throw this complete rubbish battery that I've been boiling for about 2 hours in the hole in there. I'm not expecting it to be any good. I don't even actually know where it came from. seating tool here. Right, battery terminal seating tool. Yeah, that worked well. Right, jump start pack. Turned on to maximum. So, power, fire, possibly. No fire as of yet. Right, what happens when you turn the key? Not a light or nothing. Shall we try charring on? Well, that's rubbish, but that's better than nothing. Right, to try and find a better battery. Technically better battery. Oh, the last one in existence around the place. What have we got? It's just because here. Oh, we had noise inside the car. See that nicely. Let's go and see if anything lights up in here. Smell stale petrol and it turns over, so that's good. We don't seem to have any description of cab-based power. That'll be why it's got those type of fuses that a person has to twist because they go furry. Right, let's get twisted on the fuses. Things will magically come alive now. You can hear things magically coming alive now. Right. We probably going to have a terminal cleaner, but we might run out of that. So. I think something's happening. I can hear noises inside the car. Right, let's go back and inspect this again. I've forgotten the dash lights. Turn the winkers on. Let's see if we can get the winkers to come on, which will just make me think there's a possibility that we had cab power. So we got to a point, we've obviously put the plugs back in, the carburetor is functioning. Unbelievably, it's pumping stuff that smells vile from the tank, so what we might do to cure that problem is pour that 20 litre worth of container of petrol in on top of it, try and jolly it up a bit. We found the points, they are down there, so we've got spark across the points. We've got a really clean dizzy cap, that, look at that, I haven't even cleaned that. So points clean, dizzy cap clean, functioning carburetor, slightly stick starter motor might come around. I reckon we stand a chance if we go on decompression of this thing going. Lorry battery linked to a little battery linked to a lead with the top dongle on it, and I've got fuel, I've got a spark, I might have some compression. So if it's going to start, now's the time. See what happens, I suppose. Might as well pull the choke out, you know. Does the choke even work? Choke works. Choke works. Right, let's keep charring on it. See what happens. Hang on a minute, let me just cure that vacuum leak that I seem to have acquired. Vacuum leak. That won't be helping, will it? Because that should be into the exhaust thing, shouldn't it? Right, that one on there. Might just give it a bit of a dose of sniff. Now let's try it without sniff. Let's let all the choke its back a bit. I'll try and give it some revs.
There we go. First time in 31 years. Right. Slow it down. Now I see why.
Right, so quite obviously doesn't hold water. Where's that coming out from? Oh yes, that might be the radiator. Alright, head gasket. What are you doing now? I don't quite know what that was. Might have been a load of. Let's try it again, see what happens. Right, top dong up. Let's give her a bit of extra. Once you're done again. Terribly promising, isn't it? So what I don't want to take over, I'm going to need to leave the choke on a bit when the accelerator pumps fell off. We're leaking fuel. Cure that a minute. Might cure the fuel leakage. see there, the clutch is free. We have all the gears, but the back brakes are absolutely locked solid. I think that wheel might roll. This one is not. This one might, that one might, but I think the backs are pretty nasty. So what we're going to do is we're leaving this one here. So we picked this up at 1:30. We got there at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and it is now 9:30 at night. She's running. First time in 31 years. It's moving. So what we're going to do, we'll end this one here, and then next time I'll have thrown some tyres on it. I'm going to beat the brakes up, sort the carburation issues because she's a bit unhappy there, but she is running on all 4 cylinders and we're holding coolant. So basically then we'll have a bit of a whiz round the yard and see if it actually stops, starts, moves and does stuff. Thank you very much, Al, 6D Diesels.